Ja, klingt super für mich. Finde ich gut. Finde ich, also bin ich fein mit, denke ich. Schauen wir mal, ob wir heute wieder die 9 Stunden voll machen. Bis morgens um 6. War ja letztes Mal ganz geil und hat doch echt was so ergeben, so ein bisschen. So, dann wollen wir mal mit diesem Händler sprechen, der hier nicht die Waren rausrücken will. Jo, der sieht total gesund aus, hey. Richtig fit, der Typ.
There's been a misunderstanding, sir. Of course we're ready to honor the orders. In fact, I've already had a word with your master-at-arms.
They're asking that we pay again, despite having already paid.
It's just that the price has gone up since. I've nothing to do with it.
This is inadmissible. If you agree on a sum, you need to honor that agreement.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm just an agent. And I'm only obeying orders.
Your master has apparently asked you to demand a second payment for this merchandise.
That's right. He told me that their attendant seemed to be hiding something when he passed the order. And so he must have thought the guard would end up paying in the end, whatever he asked for.
I'll be damned. And I'm the one they've sent to settle the affair.
Sorry, Captain, it's nothing personal. I'm only following orders.
Following orders. Yeah, we hear you. Makes one wonder which one of the two of us is a coin guard.
Why don't we go and solicit other suppliers, Kurt?
When we've already paid for the merchandise? If these thieves agree to reimburse the original payment, it's what we do immediately. And do know, in the future, we won't be shopping with them. Well, I should think not.
This whole story sounds suspicious and stinks of a scandal. You're demanding a second payment but refuse to reimburse the one that was already made.
I'm not the one demanding nor refusing. It's my master.
This stubborn fool is pushing me to madness. You understand now why I'm asking for your help?
Wir könnten mit dem Charisma eine 50% Chance, eigentlich eine Gefängnisstrafe anzudrohen. Oder wir versuchen ihn zu bestechen. Gehen wir wieder zur Seite, damit ihr seht, was wir hier machen können. Was sagt ihr, Chat? Wie sieht's aus? Okay, Flugstory ist für Bestechen. Ach so, Abstechen. Ah ja. Weiß ich nicht, ob ihm drohen damit gemeint ist, mit Abstechen. Bestechen ist gut? Ah, okay. Dann probieren wir mal. Erfolgreich, Leute. Nice.
Who expects you to follow orders without raising a brow. Life in your shoes can't be easy. Perhaps we could help you take the weight off your feet.
And what would I have to do in exchange? If I give you the merchandise, my master will still demand the price you're supposed to pay me.
Not if you were robbed. By pure chance. I mean, it could happen to anyone. What if the guards leave a little extra bonus in your pocket as you look away? And while you're making yourself busy elsewhere, some of my men break in and collect their merchandise. You'll just have to make a devastated, the dastardly boldness of them face in front of your master, and we're done.
And the bonus will be how much?
Well, you won't be retiring with it.
Oh. All right. Done. I'm with you. As soon as I've received my bonus, my eyes will grow weary-like.
Not just yet. You'll get your bonus afterwards. The guard has already been taken once by your promises.
Well, you can't hold it against me for trying. Very well. Call for your men to come.
You're certainly honoring your new title. Bravo! The quartermaster must be expecting us.
Sehr schön, das hat ja gut geklappt. Das hat ja gut geklappt, ey. Dann wollen wir mal unsere Leute holen. Der Schal ist awesome. Ja, der Schal ist... Der macht schon was her. Insgesamt macht die Kleidung was her. Ich mag den Style. Also, dieser Kleidungsstil ist. Ah, ja, also Clipping-mäßig scheint fein zu sein. Da berührt sich bis jetzt nichts so richtig. Scheint alles in Ordnung zu sein. Werden wir sehen, was sich später so verändert, wenn Clipping, wie es mit dem Clipping aussieht. Was hat der denn so? Guck mal, haben wir irgendwas, was wir verkaufen wollen? Ja. Das verkaufen wir. Das auch. Das auch. Die Pistole verkaufen wir jetzt auch. Wir haben ja eine coole Muskete. Diese Banditenhüte verkaufen, die sehen eh nicht cool aus. Der Dreispitz. Ja, nee, der ist low. Hau mal weg. Reiseanzug, der sieht auch noch nichts aus. Die Handschuhe kommen auch weg. Die Handschuhe sind auch low. Jo, lauter graue Stiefel. Alle weg. Wie alt bist du denn, wenn ich fragen darf? Ich bin zarte 30 Jahre jung seit diesem Jahr. Gift, großer Mann. Trank Munition. Roheisenerz, Weißdorn. 8 volle Federn. Kann man nur einem Händler verkaufen. Die können weg. Gut. So, wir gucken mal, was wir kaufen können. Steinschlossgewehr. Okay, da muss man aber Voraussetzung Gewehr haben, wenn man diese Sachen benutzen will. Okay, wie sieht's hier aus? Ja, dicken Zweihandhammer, klar. Gönnen wir uns. Nein, natürlich nicht. Geschwärztes Entermesser. Ja, aber dafür geben wir jetzt kein Geld aus. Dafür geben wir jetzt kein Geld aus. Wir wollen jetzt hier nicht irgendwie... Aber ein Umhang wäre cool. Ich stehe auf Umhänge, Freunde. Ein Umhang wäre cool. Wie viel Geld haben wir? Wir haben 208. Man sieht ihn nicht. Ja. So. Rubble. Hier begegnet uns das erste Clipping. Hast du es gerade gesehen? Hier am Bein. Da klippt die Jacke in die Hose. Ja, wenn ich dann den Mantel anprobiere. Aber wir kaufen den Umhang. Umhänge sind toll. Und wir kaufen Munition. So. Ja, der Umhang. Ah ja, das haben sie aber auch schön gelöst. Also sie schaffen es weitestgehend sehr gut dem Clipping zu entgehen. Da ist jetzt nichts uns irgendwie... Sieht ganz ordentlich aus. Mal davon abgesehen, dass der hier nicht sauber sitzt. Der ist da oben, da ist eine Lücke. Aber ansonsten ist es echt schön gemacht. Jo, steck deine Waffe weg. Machen wir jetzt hier nicht.
Sir Desade, it is an honor to make your acquaintance. Captain, you set sail soon. Have you seen to our little business?
Yes, we were finally able to recover your merchandise.
Excellent news. I'm afraid, though, that your mission isn't completely finished, Kurt.
Blast me, I'm a captain, not an errand boy.
The commander was quite explicit.
Very well. What do I need to do?
The merchandise that you obtained needs to be sent to Tier 4D as soon as possible. But the Port Authority formalities for shipping take an eternity to wade through. And we've already lost quite a bit of time with this dishonest merchant.
Are you blatantly asking us to smuggle this merchandise and contraband?
I would never ask you to do such a thing, Your Excellency.
Ah, but you don't mind asking that of Kurt?
Well, now, if he finds an alternative solution that is less, illegal, that would be fine. The method matters not. But this cargo must reach the Isle on the next ship.
Marvelous.
Well then, I await your return with utmost impatience. I'm certain you shall do what's required.
Wow. Die Stadtgarde ist ja hier vom Feinsten. Warum sind es eigentlich immer diese Leute, die so unangenehm auffallen mit sowas? Schlimm, schlimm, schlimm. Kreuze an den Türen. Weiße Kreuze. Wahrscheinlich Leute, die krank sind, werden hier gekennzeichnet. Das ist schon übel. Schon krasse Methode. Aber war wahrscheinlich damals auch so, nehme ich mal an. Ich will jetzt keinen falschen Eindruck erwecken. Das ist ein Fantasy-Produkt. Das heißt, es hat keinen historisch-realistischen Bezug, aber es gibt schon Parallelen. So, die einzige Quest, die uns im Moment noch hier zur Verfügung steht, ist die da. Wir gehen zu Captain Vasco.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide.
Ja, da krasse Facetats.
That porcelain is worth more than your life.
Ja, war ja klar. War ja klar.
Captain Vasco.
And you are?
I'm de Sardet, the prince's nephew. If all is in order, we will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship, not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
Okay. Wie ihr seht, wir können jetzt hier Nachfragen stellen zu quasi allem, was wir bis jetzt geklärt haben. Wir fangen mal mit den Gütern an.
We would like to load some merchandise into your ship's hold.
Impossible. We're too late for that. All merchandise must be registered at the port authority, and the formalities are long. So, unless you're asking me to turn smuggler and hide contraband on my vessel.
I wouldn't go that far. We're only talking about a few crates after all.
Well then, they'll have to wait. The next ship for New Serene leaves in a month.
Hellfire. If that shipment doesn't leave today, the commander will have my hide.
Captain, I understand your position, but isn't there some way we can get these crates on board?
I doubt it. Even if I wanted to help you.
Ja, ich habe es gerade gemerkt, man hört es viel zu doll.
He's gotten into his head.
Schade.
A gang of ruffians want to use my ship to pass contraband over to Tier 4D. He's placed guards where our cargo is being held before being loaded.
Ich wollte jetzt hier kein Essens-ASMR machen.
Will be left on the docks. Sorry, but your crates are gonna have to wait until the next ship sets sail.
Sorry, Kurd. At least we tried.
The commander is gonna have my head. I'm sure that's what he wanted in giving me this impossible task.
In that case, we're going to have to doctor the manifest ourselves. It must be at the Harbour Master's office.
So. Ich hungere ja nicht. Das sind ja bloß ein paar Snacks, die ich mir zugetan habe, weil die super geil sind. Für die Frage, was ich denn da futtere. Pretzel Bites. Honey, Mustard and Onion Taste. Das Beste, was es gibt. So, wir fragen mal.
About my cousin by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city.
Ah, Flugsaurier, geil.
Let's go and find him. Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
Ah.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers.
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
Ist die Frage. Sind wir offen mit ihm? Oder geht ihn der Scheiß einfach nichts an?
Nothing to bother yourself about. I'm just curious.
You wouldn't, by the sheerest of coincidences, be on the trail.
Wer weiß schon Bescheid.
Excellency. The same a couple of the ambassadors of Ptolemy's men have been looking for nigh on 2 days.
And so you know about that?
Of course. The Cardinal's henchmen are hard to miss, even in a crowd. And they were making quite a fuss, hoping we would cave in and help them in their hunt. Feel free to carry out your own investigation, but you'll end up with the same answers. The port brigs, just like the warehouses, are property of the Nauts. No one else may enter.
Okay, dann gucken wir mal noch, was wir über den Schiffsjungen rausfinden.
It's been 2 days.
The cabin boy.
It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Norts, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
This Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavia and Lauro.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish, you'll find them over there, in port.
Be back
Okay.
We need to have a word
Damit haben wir alle
with the smuggler, the sailor.
Quests abgeklappert.
like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
Wir fangen mal mit dem Cabin Boy an. Wir machen das jetzt hier irgendwie in umgekehrter Reihenfolge.
The hiding place of this smuggler is filthy. But perhaps we'll discover some useful information.
Yay. Das Tagebuch des Schleusers. Ich habe 2 Kunden, sie wollen nach Alsard reisen und die Inquisitoren sind ihnen auf den Fersen, was meine Arbeit nicht einfacher machen wird. Ich denke, ich kann sie unauffällig auf ein Schiff bringen, aber wir müssen vorsichtig sein und ich hoffe, dass sie geduldig und ruhig sein werden. Ich werde sie in einem Lagerhaus hinter dem Hafenamt verstecken, in das sich die Inquisitoren niemals hineinwagen werden. Okay. Können wir uns die Befragung des Schleusers sparen?
Good day. Someone told me that you're a friend of Jonas's, the young cabin boy who's gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro, and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Das ist ja mal ein Seemann.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
Ihr habt's gehört, Freunde. Trinken vernebelt die Sinne. Also besser nicht.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
I need to be going. Farewell.
Okay, dann hören wir uns mal noch diese Entführungsgeschichte an von dem Dude. Drachenblutharz. Das klingt ja mächtig. Ist hier noch irgendwo was? Nö. Nix mehr. Aber da ist noch was. Goldmünzen.
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 death winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand? Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left, you get me?
Did Jonas seem troubled to you, the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man. who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Thank you, Laura. I need to be going.
Strange story this is.
Something isn't right here, I can feel.
Verstehe die Leute nicht, die jede Sequenz in FF gönnen, man diese 9 von 10 einfach nur Kacke, die wie Pre-Fight anstarren. Ja, ich weiß nicht, also das Problem mit MMOs und ihren Sequenzen ist halt, MMOs vermitteln irgendwie die falschen Vibes, um da jetzt sich so reinzuführen. Ich meine, hier, die Sequenzen sind cool. Ich folge gerne den Gesprächen. Gut, liegt jetzt in dem Fall auch daran, ich mag diese Sprache sehr. Also dieses sehr britische Englisch, so wie das hier klingt, ist schon sehr, sehr cool. Es klingt sehr geil. Ich weiß nicht. MMOs haben einfach die falschen Vibes um sich da hinzusetzen und da lange die Sequenzen reinzuziehen. Aber es kann auch sein, dass es mein persönliches Empfinden ist. Das ist einfach, da will man einfach vorankommen. Das ist so das Problem, glaube ich.
Tavern keeper.
I see you're back. Can I pour you something this time?
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age. Hair down to his neck, light brown, blue eyes. Quite the talker.
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'll be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
Okay, wir haben nicht genug Metalldübel, aber wir haben genug Münzen, also können wir ihn bezahlen.
Excellent. Honest books makes for honest friendships. Your cousin is either a very bad joker or a right good fool.
Tja, ich bin halt der ältere Cousin, ne? Ich bin halt der Vernünftige hier in der Familie. Deswegen kümmere ich mich jetzt natürlich darum, diese Schäden zu begleichen.
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on
Vielleicht kann ich es mir ja wiederholen.
I would hurry if I were you. They're not the tender sorts.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow who could down his pint. Anything else?
I'm looking for a Naut, a young cabin boy who's been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No. Have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I am here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my
Also
business.
doch.
I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, sir. You are in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Theleme embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game.
Sehr interessant.
Trust him.
What would he gain from lying?
Ich
I have no idea. But what would anyone
mag diese Gespräche in dem Spiel, diese Stimme, nicht nur diese Stimmen, sondern also diese ganze Vertonung, vor allem in dieser Sprache, ist so schön anzuhören. Gefällt mir so gut. Mich durch.
Might I help you, sir?
I would like to have a word with Sir Fontaine.
Ja,
He is absent. but
kranke
a lady
Menschen, die
of the
gestorben
house
sind,
will
werden
serve
verbrannt, um
Enter, please.
da irgendwie dafür zu sorgen, dass das sich nicht ausbreitet.
Oh, I know you. I've seen you at court. You are Lord de Sade. And to what do I owe the honor of your visit, Excellency?
I would like to have a word with your husband.
He is not here, but perhaps I could be of help.
It concerns a delicate matter. We're looking for a missing cabin boy. According to witnesses, he had an argument with your husband before being taken.
I see. I am afraid that you have been misled. You seem to have come to the wrong conclusion. The cabin boy you speak of was not taken. He has simply returned home.
Excuse me, but I'm not sure I understand.
Don't you see, Your Excellency? We got our son back.
I am very surprised. Several witnesses confirmed that your son had a fight with your husband, and that his men escorted him from the tavern using force. If he had joined your husband willingly...
Witnesses? In a tavern? And you choose to believe these drunkards over a respectable family?
These witnesses are all in agreement, and it's their testimonies that have led me to your doorstep.
My son was probably shocked to have found us. My husband and the other men might have simply had to carry him. A gesture that your drunkards must have misunderstood.
What was your son doing on a Naut ship? Why would they have taken him?
It is what they do. Through pacts and contracts, they steal away young children from their mothers.
What are you talking about?
I would have thought that a legate would know these things. But it is true that you are young and inexperienced. It
Oh,
seems
sei doch mal
that
nicht so
you've been
toxic.
protected from the turpitudes of our own nation and their terrible allies. This horrible, constant ransoming that they put us through. But I will not say another word. You will have no trouble verifying the details now that you know what to look for.
Where might I find your son now?
I cannot say, Excellency. You must understand why. Until the Nauts have set sail, we live in fear they will take him back from us.
This pact. It sounds like some fear-inducing story.
The Nauts wouldn't be the first to recruit through dubious means.
Naja gut, aber ein Pakt oder Vertrag ist ja etwas Beiderseitiges. Das heißt, da hat ja jemand zugestimmt. Das war ja jetzt keine einseitige Entscheidung. Ja, das versuchen wir gerade rauszufinden, wohin die den geschleppt haben. Wir müssen jetzt erstmal mehr über die Nauten und ihre Pakte und Verträge erfahren. Und dann kriegen wir hoffentlich auch raus.
We were given orders to wait here with the merchandise.
You're going to have to wait. We need to find a way to clear the access to the warehouse.
Was? Clear the access to the warehouse? Das ist die Quest vorhin mit den Handelsgütern. Das sind jetzt die Laufburschen, die Handelsgüter holen sollen, ne? Und, ja, wir kommen da nicht rein. Naja, unser Problem ist schon, dass wir da gar nicht reinkommen. Dahinter scheinen Gegner zu sein. Ich habe da gerade so durch den Spalt, da sehe ich Gegner stehen. Okay, aber wir kommen nicht durch die Tür. Das ist der Händler, der mit uns hier Spielchen gespielt hat, und der guckt jetzt weg, aber nur er guckt weg. Wir müssen jetzt irgendwie einen anderen Weg da reinfinden. Okay, das geht nicht. Ist da hinten noch ein Weg, der uns rüberbringt? Sollen wir mal probieren. Nee, da waren wir ja eben gerade. Da hingen wir ja eben gerade fest. Okay. Ja, da ist auch nichts, was uns weiterbringen würde. Aber gut, dass wir nochmal hier warten. Tja. Okay, wir behalten das mal im Hinterkopf. Und gucken mal, dass wir uns da bei Zeiten drum kümmern. Dass wir hier irgendwie reinkommen. Vielleicht finden wir irgendwo einen Schlüssel, der uns da reinlässt. Jetzt beschäftigen wir uns erst einmal weiter mit den Verträgen der Nauten. Hier ist das Nautenlagerhaus, wo wir später rein müssen. Wir reden mal mit Captain Vasco.
You still haven't found your cousin. As you well know, we cannot leave without him.
Have no fear. I will bring him back in time to make our scheduled departure. Is everything ready?
I'm still without news of my cabin boy, but we will have to do without.
I spoke with a woman who told me she was the mother of the cabin boy. She claims that her son was taken from her.
Taken? Her son is sea-gifted. His parents were required to give him up to honor the terms of a contract.
A contract? But what kind of contract are we speaking of?
A commercial contract. In exchange for services rendered by the Nauts, some families cede more than gold. In some cases, nations even trade some of their subjects before they're born. I wouldn't be able to tell you the condition of Jonas's contract. I didn't even know he was originally from Serene. But what I can tell you is the young man hasn't seen his parents since he was a small child. And ever since, he's been a Naut. Our ships are his home. We are his only family.
Be back soon, Captain.
You see anyone else who might be able to help us? Anyone who's not a Naut?
Sir de Corsillion's a veritable well of science.
Sir de Corsillon.
Tell us a little more.
But I still don't see Constantine at your side. I hope he hasn't been the victim of any foul play.
Don't worry. We'll find him in time for departure.
I certainly hope so. Would you be in need of my help in any way?
I've had a word with Lady Fontaine. You must know her. That rich family that lives near the docks. She told me a strange story about her son who was a cabin boy on our ship. She said that he was taken when he was a child due to some contract with the Nords.
Who was a cabin boy? Do you mean he's no longer one?
They took him back to bring him home.
Well, that is very unpleasant news, de Sade. We need to do all we can to bring the boy back to his ship. Since time immemorial, there has always been a certain price to pay for the services of the Nords. Children born on their ships belong to them. It's the rule of the sea. But certain contracts are so important that they also require children to be offered in exchange. From time to time, the congregation has passed such accord, and certain noble families had to give their children up.
Are you telling me that the Fontaines lost their son because of some agreement signed between my uncle and the Nords?
No. That pact ended a long time ago. This cabin boy couldn't have been a part of that contract. But Sir Fontaine has made a fortune trading with the Alliance, via ships.
Do you mean he would have offered up his own son in exchange for wealth?
Well, he probably did it before the birth of the child, and regretted it afterwards. But that is of little importance. What counts most is that you bring the boy back to the Nords as quickly as possible. Breaking a contract with the seafarers has always cost us dearly. Our nation could feel it in its coffers.
I will do my best.
A father selling his own son for a few boat rides. For ugly, that is ugly.
Tja, würde ich sagen, die tollen Edelmenschen da, der Adel da, ist ja ganz schön selber schuld dran, dass der Sohn weg ist. Und jetzt wollen sie nicht mehr zu ihren Abmachungen stehen. Ja, wahrscheinlich hat der Typ seiner Frau nicht Bescheid gesagt und seine Frau setzt ihn jetzt unter Druck, dass sie ihren Sohn zurückholen soll. Als ob ich das fragen würde, ganz ehrlich. Wenn du an solche Sachen nur denkst, schlage ich dich zu Brei und ziehe deinen Sohn auf, als wäre es mein eigener. Kannst du mal hart vergessen, mein Freund. Kannst mal hart vergessen. An das Dienstmädchen gerichteter Brief. Alice, ich möchte, dass du mehrere Mahlzeiten zubereitest und sie in den Lagerhäusern bringst, die wir im Kanal besitzen. Mein Mann wird dort für ein paar Tage mit seinen Angestellten und seinen Männern arbeiten. Deshalb kümmere dich darum, dass es genug Essen für alle gibt und sei diskret. Wir wollen nicht, dass andere Familien erfahren, was vor sich geht.
That would be a great place to hide. Shall we take a peek?
Ganz ehrlich, kauf dir ein Gummiboot und setz dich auf den Neckar. Kannst du deine Schiffstour machen. Kannst du noch ein knallrotes Gummiboot dazu singen. Und setzt dir noch einen Kasten Bier mit drauf. Klingt doch nach einer gelungenen Schiffstour.
Here we are. Be careful. Fontaine won't be alone. He'll have his henchmen with him.
Let's just try to remain discreet.
Okay, wir wollen. Okay, ist hier irgendjemand? Nö. Nicht so aus. Aber coolen Stuff haben die hier. Krassen Stuff haben die hier. Na gut, dann müssen wir doch nach unten. Klar komme ich mit, nur um mir anzugucken, wie das aussieht, wie du da mit deinem Schlauchboot auf dem Neckar dümpelst. Ah, schön.
Sir de Sade, what are you doing here?
I've come looking for your son. The Nauts are worried about his disappearance.
Those Nauts took him from us, but now we've got him back, and he'll be staying with us.
Would you be so kind as to hear what I have to say, Sir Fontaine?
Okay. Wir können ihm entweder erzählen, was der alte Mann uns gesagt hat über die Verträge und was die Konsequenzen sein können. Oder wir versuchen an seine Vernunft zu appellieren. Da haben wir immerhin 75% Wahrscheinlichkeit durch Charisma. 75% klingt nice, ne? Machen wir das doch. Hat fehlgeschlagen. Bei 75%, das ist schon arg bad.
I looked into the contract that binds you to the Nauts. It was indeed you who ceded your son to them in exchange for help with your business with the bridge.
It is so. But that sort of contract is ignoble. I never would have signed it if I had known.
You should have thought of that before. Breaking the contract could have regrettable consequences for the congregation.
The prince will know how to negotiate with the Nauts. If they take my son back, my wife will die of sadness.
Her sadness would be all the more terrible if she learned of your role in the story, don't you think?
You wouldn't dare tell her. I beg you.
You're not leaving me with a choice.
Very well. Take the key and take him away. Cursed be the day I delivered my son unto the Nauts.
All children leave the nest one day or another, sir. Farewell.
Wow, Alter, was wieder rummacht. Ist doch selber schuld. Aha, hier geht's nach oben. Okay. Das muss ich mir gleich noch angucken. Wissenschaft und Elementarfalle, kann man das zerstören? Ah ja, okay. Das heißt, man hätte jetzt sich auch irgendwie gucken können, ob man sich hier irgendwie rein sneaken kann. Wir haben erfolgreich ein Schloss geknackt. Man sich hier rein sneaken kann, ihn befreit, ohne dass es jemand mitkriegt. Und dann mit ihm verschwinden. Naja gut, aber wir sind ja ein Gesandter. Wir wollen ja... Rede mit den Leuten. Rede mit den Leuten.
My name is de Sade. I am legate of the congregation. Your captain has sent me to find you.
And were you able to convince my father to allow me to go free?
Yes. Even if I had to bend his arm a little.
That doesn't surprise me. He seemed to have no intention of changing his mind. I feel more sorry for my mother. She seems so sweet and happy to see me.
You don't seem to be all that close to your parents.
I hadn't seen them since I was 5 years old. I barely remember them. They find me, capture me, and lock me up in this warehouse. Hard to grow close after all that. My family is the Nauts. I am sorry for my parents, but that is the way of it now. Can I go home?
Yes. You should still go and say farewell to your mother. Then find your way to the ship. I'll see you there.
Okay. Damit haben wir das schon mal gemacht. Das ist doch schon mal gut. Wie hätte man da hingefunden? Wo sind wir jetzt? Ah, auf der anderen Seite. Das heißt, man hätte quasi von der Rückseite reingehen müssen. Verstehe. Okay, gut. Ich würde jetzt aus örtlichen Gründen mal nach Konstantin gucken. Einfach weil das jetzt gerade so auf meinem Weg liegt. Und wenn der eine Schlägerei und Stress angefangen hat, dann gehe ich mal felsenfest davon aus, dass uns genau sowas auch wieder erwartet.
That vulture of a tavern master was right. It is Constantine's voice. It's coming from the floor above.
It sounds as if he's locked up.
And I have a feeling they're expecting company. Be careful. The slightest itchy word to these brutes will have them drawing blades to scratch it.
Negotiation may be the solution. As you say, this breed of brutes won't spit on ransom money.
What a waste. I'd rather sneak around them than give half a coin to these seedy fellows.
Ja, vor allem haben wir gar nicht mehr so viele Coins, um genau zu sein. Da haben wir ein bisschen was ausgegeben. Okay. Hier geht's runter. Kommen wir hier dann noch weiter? Die ist offen. Wir könnten uns aber auch... Was?
It's not possible just now.
Wieso denn? Also eine Metapherfalle habe ich doch. Okay. Das heißt, ich brauche erst... Brauche ich erst Level 1 in Wissenschaft. Ah ja, okay, ja. Schwache Mauern und Hilfe von explosiven Fülle. Okay. Na gut. Aber wir haben hier vorne einen Punkt in Fähigkeiten. Und wir haben gesagt, wir gehen für Schusswaffen. Wir wollen Schusswaffen spielen. Angriff mit Schusswaffen verursachen 20% mehr Schaden. Gefällt mir. Damit können wir arbeiten. Okay. Cabin. Das ist besser als meins. Ja, dann ziehen wir das doch an. Wir müssen ja Ja, gib dich als Mitglied der Nauten aus. Das müssen wir ja machen. Okay, das heißt, auf diesem Weg kommen wir nicht rein, weil wir das noch nicht können, weil wir noch keine Science haben. Na, dann müssen wir doch einen anderen Weg finden. Schade. Das hätte ich jetzt gerne gemacht. Okay, darum gibt es noch einen Eingang. Aber wenn das gerade der Schleicheingang war... Ja, okay. Dann ist das jetzt hier die Kampfvariante, ja? Nice. Einen haben wir so erledigt. So. Oh. Also die 20% machen sich bemerkbar, würde ich mal sagen. Das war ja nice. Das war ja sehr nice. Und das mit dem Fallenlegen gefällt mir. Das fühlt sich geil an, so. Wenn sie auf dich zulaufen und du so, jo, ich leg eine Falle und du rennst rein. Boom. Ich habe noch 10 Schuss. Ich denke, also ich erwarte jetzt nicht, dass da drin irgendwie so viele Jungs sind, dass wir da mit 10 Schuss nicht rauskommen. Und ich meine, im Zweifelsfall haben wir ja noch Fallen und andere schöne Dinge. Ein Schwert zum Beispiel. Vielleicht finden wir ja auch noch Stuff. Ah, siehst du, da war wieder Munition. Hier können wir ein Schloss knacken. Da, oh, da sind gleich 4 Munitionen drin. Und ein Nebeltrank. Der könnte im Zweifelsfall, wenn es kritisch wird, auch hilfreich sein. Okay, von da unten wären wir wahrscheinlich gekommen. Wenn wir... Ja, da ist die Wand, die man kaputt machen kann. Da liegt meine Falle, genau. Das wäre der andere Eingang gewesen. So, was haben wir hier noch? Da haben wir den Schlüssel zu Konstantins Zelle. Oh, eine giftige Falle. Wie schön. Müssten wir noch Fallen zuordnen, hä? Wir haben hier einiges an Fallen. Auf der 4 Stasisfalle, auf der 5 Magiefalle, auf der 6. So. Nur so für den Fall. Noch mehr Munition. Aber ich denke, an Munition mangelt es uns gerade nicht.